Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time, 8 o'clock Central, to talk about strategies and success stories, techniques. Ultimately, we're here to support each of you. Yesterday, we had a really good training, received a lot of positive feedback. We went through some success stories on the 60-day credit sweep. Because what we know is that what you and I do as technical advisors is three things: help build financial literacy, secondly, help build lender compliant loan packages, and third, help clients meet the credibility factors to be able to receive a minimum of $100,000 of funding. So building off of that, I wanted to share with you some recent success stories and a quick review of the process. We've been talking quite a bit about the quote unquote hybrid model, and it's going well. So I wanted to reiterate that a bit, but not just redundantly discuss that. Let's talk about some funding success stories, and then we'll talk about the recommended flow. So if all's going well, you see my screen, and the topic today is First Tranche Funding Success Stories. We often refer this as the acronym of FTF. So it's important that you understand what FTF is, how it works, why it's used. So let's start with that, and then we'll start talking about some of the success stories from it. So the first tranche financing or funding, either one, is the first round of money that clients receive. It's the initial round. Typically, it's not going to be all the capital that they want or need, but it's the initial round, first round. Make sense? The first tranche financing, FTF, is important for several reasons. Three specific reasons I want to bring to your attention. The first is that it provides an injection of working capital for the client. Now, I understand clients come to us with different starting points and different circumstances, but in most cases, they're very interested in getting an injection of cash now, even if it's not all that they want, but a stepping stone. So it serves that purpose. Secondly, it funds the client's refundable deposit. So when clients are going through the funding process, there is no advance fee, but there is a deposit. Now, if you're a white label partner, you determine if that deposit is refundable or non-refundable. If you're a white label partner, you also determine what that deposit amount is. But just in general, let's say that you're just a referral partner, not a white label partner. It is important to understand that the first tranche of financing, FTF, provides the initial working capital for the client, funds the client's refundable deposit, and it creates that first payment to you. Because the first payment that a client pays is after, when it's after their capital raise, and that provides income to you. So there are three important purposes of the first tranche financing. Provide some initial working capital. So let's talk more about that. Maybe the client's needing some funding to get the rest of their business set up in a compliant fashion. Maybe maybe their business bank account looks a bit insolvent, so we can get that first round of funding and just park some cash in their business bank account that makes their balance sheet look stronger, their bank statements look stronger, their bank rating. It'll depend upon the client. We'll make recommendations of how to use it, but that is important, as well as funding the deposit and then getting you paid. So as I mentioned before, this is the first tranche of financing. Even if you don't know what the word tranche means, which just means round, first kind of denotes it's the initial, right? And there will be others forthcoming. So this isn't a diversion away from the long-term goal of getting a big SBA loan or whatever it is the client is pursuing, but it's an initial tranche of capital. So I think we're clear on that, what it is now and why it's important. So let's go through a couple success stories, and we've had some recent ones. Nizam was actually just yesterday, and so his success is kind of what triggered our discussion today. But here's just 4 recent success stories of first tranche financing offers. So we'll talk about the process here in a minute, but what happens is the client completes a simple one-page app and we get offers for them. They are not required to accept any or all of the offers. Different clients get different amount of offers. And I exaggerate not. Take Nizam yesterday. I know I'm going out of order. He did receive over $73,000 of offers for first tranche financing. That's a fact. If it matters to you, I don't know if it does. Maybe it's confusing, but literally, he received over 50 different funding offers. So what does that mean? Some of them were longer repayment terms. Some of them were shorter from different lending. So, I mean, this model is vibrant. Nizam is ecstatic, right? He's sitting on it, and it's up to him. You know, this just all happened yesterday, so we'll see if he wants all of that 73,000 or part of it. That's up to him. But he's literally having access to a good chunk of change, and he has many different options to get that. So Janette, I should have gone in order. Janette received a little bit more. She had 115,000 in offers. These are all real people. Obviously, we're not going to say these things if it's not true, and we're giving you the part of their name. We're not going to give you full disclosure of who they are. Vernon, 104,000. Joceyln, 101,000. And so the first tranche of financing is not designed, it could happen, but it's not designed to be the entire capital raise, right? For the reasons we talked about. It's to provide that initial working capital, cover the deposit, and get you paid. So these are some success stories. I wouldn't go into it making big claims that the client's going to get $115,000 worth of funding offers. They may. I mean, Janette did. That's a true statement. But Nizam didn't. Nizam only got 73,000. So as a distribution partner, we want to underpromise and overdeliver. So we guarantee everyone will get at least some funding offer. Sometimes it'll be cash funding, you know, like a term loan. Sometimes it'll be line of credit and or a line of credit or whatever. It could come in different configurations. The individual client can choose what they want. But I just wanted to reiterate, because I know some of you want us to talk about success stories over and over, but this is just what we do. So today we'll stop and we'll look at how this works. But we're not going to talk about this again tomorrow and next week. I just need you to understand the process and that it works. And the client will get whatever they qualify for. A lot of times clients are going to first tranche financing before they have completed their loan package. Now, it could be afterwards, but in many cases it's before. So that's why the first tranche is often not the only tranche, because we're trying to capture whatever is available at this time. Okay. Sorry, I had a sneeze snuck out there. Okay, so let's talk about the process now, and then we'll dig into any questions. And Konika, I do see your question, and we will follow up with you today. It's unrelated, so I don't want to confuse everyone else, but yes, ma'am, thank you for your message, and we'll reach out to you today. Okay, so let's talk about the process. So if your goal is to help people earn income, here are the simple next steps. First, we recommend that you become a referral partner. Well, why would you want to do that? Well, number one, it's free and easy. That's pretty good start. You get a free landing page, a link to refer people to. That's a really good start as well. There's no selling involved. All you're doing is referring people to the landing page that we give you for free for them to enroll in the 4-week funding program. The 4-week funding program is 100% grant subsidized. Instead of them paying the $2,500, they enroll, the grant pays the $2,500, they agree to fully participate, and they pay nothing, right? Good deal, good deal. So there is no selling involved with that process. Not that there's anything wrong with selling, but some people have an aversion to that. And then as a referral partner, it's just real simple. You make 5 points. And that's pretty generous. If you look around, that's higher than the market average. For those of you that maybe like me, math challenge, well, what does 5 points mean? Well, if the client has a $100,000 capital raise, you put $5,000 in your pocket. Not a big deal, not life-changing, but as a referral partner, I don't know, refer in a client a week, right? An extra 5,000 a week wouldn't hurt. In contrast, if the client has a $200,000 capital raise, it's still 5 points. So that would put 10,000 in your pocket. Now, when you're bringing clients in, I wouldn't ask you to filter or profile or screen them based upon, oh, I only want people that want really big capital raises. I wouldn't burden with that. I'm just showing you the income examples. For those that want a much larger capital raise, obviously 5 points is even higher. So that's just, it's linear, right? But for a free and easy program with a free landing page and no selling involved, I mean, becoming a referral partner is not a bad gig on a very part-time basis. So to become a referral partner, you go to 4weekfunding.org. Down at the bottom, it asks for just a couple pieces of information. You click yes, I'd like to be a referral partner. It'll email you a link, complete the app, which again, doesn't cost anything. The link will come to you via email and you're open for business. It's very simple. It doesn't require much training or much lead time. So once you're set up as a referral partner, then we need to create activity. And so you'd refer others to your landing page. When they go to your landing page, which is provided for free, you'll be notified when the prospect fills out the form. So keep in mind, when they fill out the form on your link, on your landing page, that's not the enrollment form. That is the first step. So it gathers some basic information. You'll be notified. So now we'll call them a prospect. And that allows the system to follow up with them to say, hey, we see you started the process. So Scott Stroud, our Chief Marketing Officer, has built this automation that follows up with them that encourages them to move forward. So the point is, once they fill out the form on your landing page, you're notified, as I mentioned, and then they're going to receive via email the enrollment link for online. So super simple. And there's, again, no cost for them to enroll. It's a very valuable program, but as I mentioned before, 100% covered by the grant. Pretty hard to argue that. And if you're not clear of the value proposition of the free 4-week funding program, you can go back and review it, but it's really strong, right? We use award-winning curriculum developed by the FDIC, promoted by the SBA. We build their financial literacy. We build their loan package. We prepare them for a capital raise. We're assessing their credibility factors. If there's deficiencies, we identify those and help them resolve them. I mean, it's exactly what the marketplace needs. Of course, you'll be notified once they enroll. Now, D is really important, maybe the most important part of the page. So if you faded on me a little bit, we'll finish strong here. So once they've gone through the 4-week curriculum, which is what we're talking about, right? Then they normally will then progress to funding. So if what you're doing is feeding them in, let's go back to this, feeding them into your free landing page as a referral partner, it's normally going to be about 30 days before they go to funding, as we discussed up here. However, you can accelerate that if you wish and they wish. So let's talk about that. So one of two scenarios will happen. As a referral partner, you feed them in, they go through the 4-week curriculum, and then they go to funding. Or, so now we're on or, and there's all bold here, right? Or you can go ahead and prompt them to pursue their first tranche of financing even before they complete the curriculum. And we refer to that as the hybrid model. We've talked about that before. So let's role play that out for a minute. So let's say we've got Al on a line here. So let's say that Al is my prospect, and I say I get Al to complete the form on my free landing page, and then Al receives the enrollment email, and he says, well, sure, this makes sense. There's no cost. I'm guaranteed at least 10,000 business credit. I'm going to do it. So he enrolls. So now Al is going through the 4-week curriculum, and I'm just pretending to be you. So then what I could do, or what you could do, is then reach out to Al at any time during the 4-week curriculum and say, Al, hey, how's it going so far? Most likely Al's going to have great things to say. Oh man, it's awesome. Putting my business plan together. We're building out my Dun & Bradstreet profile, getting my financial statements. This is great. This is exactly what I needed. Whatever Al's going to say, he'll say, hopefully it's good, it should be good. And what you would respond back with is, well, great, Al, that sounds outstanding. Now, did you know that we can go ahead and get started on your first tranche of financing, your first round of capital right now, even though you're still going through the process? And Al would probably say, well, damn, no, I didn't know that. I thought I had to complete this. Yeah, how does that work? So then that's what we're talking about here with the hybrid model. Then you just go ahead and send them your white label access to capital agreement. You're probably sending it to them via Adobe or DocuSign, however you're set up. They sign up for that. Now we're going to go ahead and go to funding their first tranche financing right away. And so Al might be a success story like Janette and get his first 115,000 even before he's finished the 28 days, or maybe he's only a Nizam and gets 73,000 of offers. Maybe he's a Vernon and gets 104,000. Maybe he's a Joceyln, gets 101. I mean, he could get more or less. It's whatever he qualifies for at that point in time. But by doing that, you're helping the client move to funding for first tranche financing even before the 28-day process is completed. You're getting your $2,500 quicker, right? Which is good. And so white label partners, again, there's no cost to be a white label partner, but as a white label partner, you're getting the $2,500 upfront, plus you're getting whatever performance fee that you want to charge the client, typically 10, 12, 15%. So obviously that's more than 5 points. It's double to triple. So if you're not a white label partner, it's really simple to become one, free and easy on 4weekfunding.com. So notice we have .org for clients, .com for referral partners, white label partners. So with that, let me make this smaller and see what questions you have, because it's a pretty simple process. I wanted everyone to be really clear on how first tranche financing works, the type of success stories that we're having. Now, again, some people will get more money, some people will get less. We have a consortium of lenders that we work with that literally compete for the client's business and making offers. And so I'm not exaggerating at all. Nizam had literally over 50 offers that he could choose from yesterday. And so he can pick and choose, and he can stack those offers, and the cumulative maximum that he would be able to get is 73,000. Time will tell how much he wants of that. Most likely he'll take it all. But with that being said, what questions, comments, concerns do any of you have about what first tranche financing or funding is, the value proposition, why it's important, how it works, success stories, or what you need to do to implement? I know when I used to be a high school teacher, I would teach this principle of 3 things: what, how, do it. So what is figuring out what is it that you want to do. And so how that applies to our conversation today is, if you want to generate an adult income, you got to figure out, what are you going to do? Well, once you've decided, let's say that you want to be a referral partner and or a white label partner, so you've decided the what, now you got to learn how to do it. Right? If you decide you want to become a medical doctor, you've got to figure out how to become a medical doctor. You've probably got to apply to medical school, get accepted, finish your residency, and so forth. Well, this isn't quite that complex. So if your goal is to earn $10,000 to $100,000 a month, if that's the what, then you got to figure out, how are you going to accomplish that? Well, if you want to use this mechanism, here it is. Here's exactly how to do it. But the third step is the one that most people come up short. Even if you have a plan, a lot of people just don't do it. They find excuses, they're lazy, they have distractions, life gets busy, whatever it is. But if you don't do it, it doesn't matter how good your plan is, because it's not going to come to realization. Here's my challenge, I guess, friendly challenge to each of you. let's just do this now through the end of July. We're almost to the end of June. Today's the last day of June. For 1 month, do this process and see what outcome you have. I think you're going to be very impressed with the number of people that you can help and the amount of money that you can make. Try it for 30 days. It's like an exercise program, right? Who knows if I want to go join a gym and go walk or run on the treadmill every day. May or may not want to do it, but make a 30-day commitment. Be diligent for a 30-day period. Do this for the month of July, starting today, preferably June 30th. And let's see what outcomes you have. I think you're going to generate a significant income, and we're going to help a lot of people. What questions do any of you have on first tranche financing, why it's important, recent success stories, or how to get involved, how you can monetize it? Anyone have questions? We've got a big group today, but I'll just pick out a few of you. Al, any questions? Alfred, Bernard, Carlos, Charles, Doug, got 2 Dougs, Lon, Pauline, Terrence, Victor, Wayne, others. Any questions? It's really quite simple, but we just wanted to clarify. What is first tranche financing? What are some recent examples of success stories? And the very simple process to follow. All right, well, I think we've got a plan. So if your what is to earn a lot of money in the month of July, this is one way that you could go about and how to do it. It's up to you, right? You got Joseph online. Joseph is a realtor. He'll probably make $100,000 off of real estate transactions in the month of July. He has a real battle that a lot of us don't have. A lot of us don't have a plan B to go earn a lot of money in the month of July. This is a great way to generate extra income while helping others. All right, well, thanks everyone. We will talk to you again tomorrow morning. We won't have training on July 4th, but we'll be back tomorrow on July 1st to start off the month strong. Thanks everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.